Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in the today's session, we'll talk about Angular services. So first we'll see what are the topics which cover today and the session. So first we'll see what is Angular service. Then we'll move to understand why Angular services are needed. Then we'll see the command to create a service. And to using those services, we need to understand the dependency injection principle. So we'll cover the dependency injection principle in this section. And then we'll do some kind of hands-on to see how to create a service and how we can define the methods and use it in our components. So let's get started. So what is Angular service? Angular service is a simple JavaScript class that contains the various properties and methods to process and manage the data. It is a singleton class. It means that if you have defined and created a class or Angular service, you can use it across the entire application. But if you have to use it, you have to inject it into your component through the dependency injection principle. Without using a dependency injection principle, you cannot use your Angular services. So this dependency injection, what it is exactly, so we will cover it in the later sections. The fourth point is it can have a value, method or combination of both. It means you can create an Angular service with just properties, or you can create Angular services which contain only methods, or you can create an Angular service which contain both the values as well as the methods. Now, why Angular services are needed? So the first reason is to handle the features that are separated from the components such as authentication, HTTP call or CRUD operations. So it means the processing or any kind of business logic or any kind of processing or managing the data which are separated from the component. So like if you want to fetch the data from the server, if you want to do some kind of authentication processing, then you can create a service. The next reason is that to share the data across various Angular components. So if you want to, or if you have some shared data which you want across multiple Angular component, so we create a service, we define the data in that service and we reuse across multiple components. The third is to write the reusable code to centrally organize the business logic of the application. It means when you create a service and when you define your properties and method, it means you are centrally organizing your business logic for that particular let's suppose for that particular service. So and using it across multiple components, it means you are reusing that code across multiple places. So it makes the testing and debugging simpler, and it also makes the maintenance easier, because let's suppose in future you want to modify you want to like do some modification in your calculations or in data processing, then you have to modify or you have to update in one area, that is a service. So the maintenance is quite simpler. If service was not there, then you have to write the same code across multiple components, and In that way, the maintenance is become difficult. Now, next is how we can create a service. So, for creating a service, we have a simple command, that is ng, g for generate, s for service, and then you have to specify your service name. So when you run this command, it create a file ending with extension .service.ts. So this is basically a naming convention for any service file. That is service name, then service.ts. Now let's see you. Now if you have created a service, okay, now you want to use it in your components, but before using it you need to understand the dependency injection principle, because if you want to use the service inside your component, you have to inject those service dependency into your components. So what exactly is dependency injection? Dependency injection, it's like a coding pattern in which the class or your component receive all its dependency from external sources and consume it rather than creating them itself. It means that your component will not create an object for your services. So they will receive the object from external sources, and their job is to just to consume those rather than creating it. So what are the advantages for the dependency injection? As like reusability of code, it makes the refactoring easier, and there is a ease of testing. Let's understand this dependency injection with a simple example. Let's suppose this is a code without dependency injection. Now I want to manufacture one car. Okay. Now in that car there is a dependency of engine and tire. Now what I'm doing inside this, I have created engine class, I have created tire class. These are the two dependencies and for the car class. Now one way is I can, like inside the car constructor, I can create the engine and tires object. So this is without dependency injection. So simply the car can create the object for engine and tires, and the car can reuse the methods defined in engine and tires. But what if I have a DI principle? So before moving to DI, let's suppose there is any change come in the future inside the engine constructor. Let's suppose I have added one more thing inside the engine constructor, or I have modified the constructor of engine. So if I have modified the engine constructor or a tire constructor, the same changes I have to modify in the car constructor for the to access the engine or tires method. Okay, but now this will not happen in the dependency injection. Let's suppose the code with the DI. Now here also I have defined the two dependencies for the car, like one is engine and other is tires. Now what I am doing here, the car class is not creating the dependencies engine or tires. What it is using, the car, we are only injecting the dependencies for the engine and tire, and this is what DI. So if there is any modification happens in future for the engine or tires, then car has nothing to worry about, because uh, it does not impact the car class. So that's why it's very easy, and it makes the refactoring easy. So this is all about the DI mechanism. Now, after that, now we understand how to create a service. We understand the dependency principle. Now we'll do some kind of hands-on, and we'll see this is Angular project, how we can create and use services in our components. So let's see this in Angular project. Okay, so now we will do some hands-on and see how we can create a service and how can we access service methods inside our components. Now we'll do some one. I'll explain you the example which I'm going to implement in the hands-on. So the requirement is we need to show the employee list and we have to perform the delete operation on that employee list. So my employee will consist of ID, name, designation, and contact number, and then action. So let's suppose I'll give you an example. Neha, software engineer, and then delete. Okay, so and the requirement we need to show our employee list, and when the user perform a delete action, then that employee will get deleted from this employee list. So now how we can do this requirement, how can we implement this requirement? So for that we need to create an employee service. For getting the list, get employees, we'll create one inside that employee service. The data, what data will we create? We'll create an employee list. Just for showing you, I'll not fetch the data from the servers, but in the real scenario, this employee list you will get it from your database or from your server. So just for showing you an example, so right now I'll hard code this employee list in the employee service. Okay, now this become a data. So what are the methods I have to write inside the services? So I'll write get employees. This get employees, with what it will do, it will actually fetch all the employees and store it into a or you can say it will fetch the employee list for a particular organization. Now the second method is delete employee. So for that I need the ID. So what it will do, it will delete that particular employee for which we pass the ID. So based on ID, it will delete the employee from this employee list. So now let's do this and implement this requirement. Okay. So if you see, currently we are showing this. Okay. Now let's first we'll create you can say a component which is an employee component. Okay, so ng, g for generate, c for component, and I'll write employee. Okay, now inside that we'll write app employee. Okay, Now you can see I can access my employee component. This is HTML. Now here I need to show the employee list. So for showing, let's start create us employee service. So how we can create a service? Then for that employee service you have to write the command ng, g for generate, s for service, and this is employee. So it will create an employee service. Okay, so now you can see this is the employee service. As you can see, this is I told you that services are the singleton class. So it is defined, you can see that it is defined as provided in root, means you can use this service and inject into your component. So you have to define it once and you can use it across your application anywhere. Okay, so this through this command my service got created. Now so first we create an employee list. So I create one variable employee list. Okay, now I told you that the employee model will contain a set of properties: ID, name, designation, contact number. So for that I need to provide the model. So let's create one employee model. Okay, so for that I'll create one model, employee dot model dot ts. Okay, then here we'll create a class. This is employee. Okay, there's a ID, should be a number. Then we need name, string. Then we need designation. This will be a string. Then contact number. This would be a string. That's it. Okay, this is the model we have created. Now let's move to the employee service. So I need to create a variable which would be an array of employees. Okay, so now I'll type it as employee list. Okay, is of type employee array, or you can say array of employees. Okay, now in the constructor employee list is equal to ID. We'll just hard code the values. But in real scenario, you have to get this employee list from your server or from your database. Okay, so I'll say Sneha, designation, software engineer, and contact number. Okay, similarly we'll put so 2, then we'll say Richa. Okay, software tester, then we'll say So now we have created a list of employees. Now So now next thing, we'll create two methods, one for getting the employee list and other for deleting the employee based on the employee ID. So let's create methods here. Okay. Now we'll define get employees. Okay, and then we'll return at this dot employee list. Now we'll create another method, it is delete employee. Here we have to provide the ID, and then we'll do this return this dot employee list dot slice. Okay, we need to find the index. Let index So for deleting an employee based on ID, first we need to find the index of that particular employee. So this dot employee list dot index of or you can simply say find index of okay, there you will get the index. Now if index is not equal to -1, then you have to return not equal to -1. Then you have to slice the index by 1. Okay, else simply return this dot employee list. Okay, so now we have created a service. I'll again repeat what we have done in the employee service. So we have created one employee service using the command ng, g for generate, s for service, and employee. As I said, the naming convention of service is the service name, which is employee dot service dot ts. So this service has been created. Now what we have done, we have created we have written one data. So this employee list is our data, or you can say the property, and we define it as an array of employee because we want the employee list. Then next we see the data into that employee list, and then we created two methods. One is get employees for getting the employee list, and another is delete employee so that we can delete the employee from the employee list based on ID. Now let's move to the employee component where we need to show the data. So to list of employees. Okay, now we'll use a table for showing the employee list. So first we'll put the headers. So one is the ID, then name, designation, and the contact number. And one more action type we needed is for the action. So it would be what we have to define the action, delete button. So now inside that we'll create a row. Okay, and for every row we have to define the table data. So it would be also 4. So here we'll do for loop, ng for let element of employee list. Okay, then dot id element dot name element dot designation element dot contact number, and one we created a button. So this would be you have to write button. Okay, here inside button we'll write delete. Okay, now if you see we have created data, but it is not showing the data because in the component we have not written anything. So now we need to extract the data from this service. So now we will see how we can use the service inside our component. So first, if you have first, we'll create an employee list here also. Okay, employees. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that if I have to use the services or service method inside my component, I have to inject the service dependencies into the component constructor. So how can I do that? So let's see. So I have to just define in a simple way. You have to write private, then any variable you need to define, it is up to you. Here you have to write the service name. So sir, what was my service name? This was my service name. So you have to mention the same here. Okay, this can be, it's up to you what naming you have to give to the private variable, but here you have to mention the same naming which you have given to your service class. Okay, so here I have mentioned. So this is, we call a dependency injection. Okay, so we inject the service dependency from the external sources. Now this employee component class can reuse or use the methods inside the service. So let's use the methods. So what we'll write initially, we need the employee list from the service class. So what we do, simply we'll write this dot employee service dot get employees. Okay, now still it is not showing because I have provided the name here as employees, and in the HTML I have given employee list. So mention it here, employees. Now see, now we are able to see the employee list. But what about this? Delete button is not happening. So next step we'll see how we can delete the employee from this list based on the ID. So now we'll apply on button, we'll apply a click action. So delete employee, and here we'll pass the element ID. Okay. Same, we'll move to this employee component, and here we write ID and this dot employees, and write this dot employee service dot delete employee, this is ID. So what we are doing, we are deleting the employees based on ID, and this service method will give the list after deletion, and we are setting it into our employees variable. So now if I delete that, you can see, okay, just give me a second. Okay, we don't need to return this. We'll splice and we return the employee list. I'll check it. So this is my list of employees. Let's suppose I need to delete the employee which has ID 2. So now you can see that the 2 has been deleted from the list. Now similarly, if I want to delete the first employee, so this is the way you can utilize your employee services, or you can utilize and create your services in your Angular application. So that is all for the today's session. I hope you enjoyed the session about Angular services. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you guys.